Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to give you your last market update of the year while we open this box of WTR. I just want to give a shout out to all those who have been, followers and watchers of this content this whole time. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the comments and feedback, and I can't be more thankful than I am to have you out there responding to my content and finding it worthwhile. It's just been an interesting, great year. We just started this thing a few months ago, and it seems we have some people that are pretty regular watchers, so I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it, and it means a lot to me that you watch and that you care about the content we create. I enjoy it, and I hope you continue to as well. With that in mind, if you're listening and you haven't done this yet, go ahead and hit that like button or subscribe to us, or leave a comment just saying what you'd like to see or how we could get you to come back and subscribe and be part of the channel and the community we're building here. It's been a cool start to the year. We'll be doing more stuff next year, some more exciting and fun things. And honestly, I can't wait to do it. I'm looking forward to some giveaways. I'm looking forward to getting more people subscribed and then building the channel up over the next year. This is mostly an experiment to see if we enjoyed doing it, and I have to say we're having a good time. I am, and I know Tommy likes it too, so I think it's going to keep going, and we'll just keep doing what we do and have some fun with it. So if there's things you guys want to see, please reach out, leave a comment, however you want to get a hold of us. We are totally open to it, and we're having a good time, so we'll keep doing it. All right, so let's dive into the market update. There's not too much going on that's worth talking about, but I have a few topics I thought was interesting. It's just a quiet week just because it's between Christmas and New Year's, so you get that kind of lull in everything, frankly. I will say, as an overview of things, markets are cooling off or continuing to sit flat in most cases, actually, for the cold foils and the rare stuff. That's not that surprising. A lot of stuff has been sitting very flat for a long time, but when it comes to kind of the sink that was happening as the year wound down and people kind of got rid of excess stock and whatever, we hit a point where things were dropping, and now it feels like it's mostly stabilized. Like we've seemed to find a bottom. There's a couple places that I want to jump into that I think we're seeing an alternative to that general market narrative. The first, or at least the one that I find most exciting and interesting, is the sale just, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, I was watching on eBay, of a box of WTR Alpha, the big Mammy Jammy. It sold for $25.50. Wow. Super, super low price. It might have been like 58 or 9 or something. It was like 50 and change. It was a really low price, a little shocking. I actually did bid on it. Now, let me color the situation here for you, because it wasn't a pristine, beautiful box. I actually went after it to try to do a box break on this channel with it because it was so cheap, and the box was busted up. So it wasn't really worth keeping on the shelf, but it was worth cracking open. The seller was totally upfront with it. They posted a picture of where it was busted. It was very clear that there was some damage to the box. I think all the packs and cards inside will probably be perfectly pristine and fine because of the way the boxes are packaged and the packs work. But there was that classic, I guess they call it the spine crack on the back side, where right in the middle there's a tear almost right dead center. It looks like it's gotten compressed a little bit, and it's that little part where the pop out for the stand bit is. It was ripped. That's normal. You see that a lot even in pretty pristine boxes, so most of the time that doesn't get you a discount. But this is what did. On the bottom, there was clearly a tear, and it looks like a friction tear in the wrapping, the cellophane stuff. And it was long enough that, you could fit a card or maybe a pack through there if you really worked it and tried to do something crazy. Now, do I think this person had done that? No, I absolutely don't. It looked intact enough that it was just a natural tear from, if you slide a box across a shelf or something of that nature and it gets caught on a splinter or a rough spot, they can rip. Even sometimes I've actually seen in some of my boxes, they'll do it when they're on top of each other. You stack them and the plastic catches on the plastic. You know how sometimes there's those little rough edges where the plastic gets shrunk wrapped or heated. Those rough edges can catch the plastic of another box and kind of tear it out. And that's exactly what it looked like. That's exactly what seemed to have happened there. And it ripped it just in a really bad spot because it was right near the bottom seam. So theoretically, if you really wanted to try, you might have been able to wiggle a pack in between the seam of the bottom of the box and pull it out and repack the whole thing. Now, I doubt that happened just based on the way it looked. But it was in rough shape. They did put a piece of tape over it, which I thought was kind of funny. I guess that just prevents it from tearing further, so there's good reason there. It wasn't a box that was going to resell well in the future. If these boxes go to 100,000, I don't see this one getting that full value, right? Because it's essentially going to, it's going to be a damaged box in the future, and people will always have those little questions about it. And the longer it's out there, the bigger those questions become. So that's where that went. But 25.50, that is low, record low. I think for a WTR Alpha box. And man, I wish I had gotten it. I was the second highest, I believe, bidder. I put my top price in and I bid a few times, and then I put my max as it wound down. And at the last minute, I don't know how many bids went in, but a bunch at the last little microsecond, and I just was beat out by a small amount. I forget what it was, maybe $50 or something, which is only one bid. At that price, they do it by 50s, something like that. But it's okay. I took my shot, and I didn't make it, and that's fine. You don't always get it on these things. I was a little sad, but I knew I'm not terribly sad about it because I didn't really want to spend that money on that box because it's all beat up. I really want a shelf WTR box. Hell, I want a shelf WTR case, but you just can't get them. They're pretty impossible to get at a reasonable cost. So I don't think I'll ever get that, but I am looking to get a shelf box. So anyone out there trying to sell a box, under the TCG player price, which is around 3,800, hit me up if you are trying to get rid of an alpha box, because I am interested. But reality is that that would have been a fun one to open for the channel to show this stuff and kind of the first version and maybe get something spicy, but yeah, it didn't work out. So as a consolation prize, I signed up for Chris Sire's little box break. Well, little, they're not little. He does awesome box breaks. By the way, if you don't know Chris Sires, go check out his Facebook. It's Fab Unsealed or Flesh and Blood Unsealed. He also has a YouTube channel, so check him out here. That's relatively new, and he's growing it. It's awesome. Hey, look at that. Brave Ford's bracelets. Awesome. Nice. So I got 2 legendaries in this case. Excellent. That is insane. But yeah, he's just great. He's a great guy. He's actually who I got the Arc from originally, way back in the day. I was a patron and he had it listed. It wasn't way back in the day. It was a few months ago, whenever it was. But he is a patron, Patreon. So I am a patron of his. Mostly just because I like his content, I want to support him in what he's doing and all that. And he had an offering for some sealed stuff. This was a few months ago. I don't think he offers any of this anymore, very little of it. So I made a deal and gave him some crypto for a case, actually 2 different cases. But so anyways, he's a great guy, good content. I definitely recommend supporting his stuff. As a result of not getting this box, I was a little sad. I wanted something spicy, so I signed up for his box break for WTR. He does this. You can buy a pack, and it's just like a gamble. It's totally a lottery ticket. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect to get anything out of it. I got some good stuff. I got a super rare out of it. Didn't make my money back at all because it cost $180 or $150, something like that for a pack, but it was worth it just to have the fun with him. And he is so entertaining. He makes it fun. Even if you lose, you feel good because he's just a cool dude, and the way he approaches it is well worth it. So check him out. Anyways, back to the market stuff. So $25.50 for a WTR busted box. That seems like what the market bears. This was an open bid situation, so that gives you an idea of where we want to be as far as the market as a market. That's the price we decided on. It's 3,800 on TCG Player, and then I saw a bunch of people posting. Well, not a bunch. I saw a person posting a couple boxes on Facebook. They didn't have much trade history there, so that's kind of the question mark. But they were selling them at 4K each. They were pristine. They did post their eBay history, so they sell stuff. It's pretty regular. They had high rating for the last 6 months. And so I think 4K is kind of what you expect for a pristine box. 3,800 is a discount over TCG Player because they don't really post pictures there, so you don't really know what you're getting. And with a box and a price this high, you kind of want to see what you're getting because it could be all banged up or it could be in pristine shape. You don't know. And then obviously more than 4K for the ones that are pristine in their protective plexiglass case. So just something I thought was interesting. I am keeping an eye on WTR Alpha because we are running out of boxes. Like there's not that many left, and I want at least one for the shelf before this all ends and we get to the next stage where it is just non-available. Arcane first. I'm just going to go through all the first so you get an idea of where the market is. 2.2K. It's been stable as a rock for months. It has not dropped down for quite some time. I do recall a time when it was around 4K for a box of Arcane, but that was in that heat and height of the Monarch craze. We're now at a point where things have kind of gotten real and they're starting to either stay flat or tick up, which I think we're starting to see, which is one of the reasons I want to grab WTR now while I can, while there's some left for one and while it's at this kind of stable low. Crew First Edition is pretty much in a free fall for the past few weeks, maybe a month or two. It's down at 650. Now, when I say free fall, oh, nice, Crazy Bird, I love that. When I say free fall, I mean the price is declining regularly every week, a fair amount. I think it was 675 the week before, so it's not like a huge amount. It's not dropping, but it is going down consistently. It has not found a bottom yet. So continue to keep an eye on that if you want Crew First Edition. And all of this is on a per box basis, which, as everyone knows, is a risky buy because you're buying one box. You don't guarantee yourself good stuff. So you really want a case if you're going to try to crack things. But that's just where it is. I would maybe buy another box of Crew first, and maybe I'll wait a little bit. If it can get down to 400 to 500, I might buy another box just to crack. I do have a box, just a single box sitting on my shelf, one of my first ones. I think I bought it at like 800, so it wasn't the best buy. I don't care. It would be nice to have some first edition Crew. Speaking of that, I did buy from Chris Sires like 6 packs of first edition Crew and got something nice out of there. Plasma Purifier, foil, and something else. A couple things that were pretty nice. So I think I made my money back on that one. That was a good deal. He did a bunch of those. In that box, he did pull a, is it the Arknight shard? Yeah, I think it's, or is it the Eye? The Eye of Ophidia. He pulled the Fabled and a Shiana, which apparently 50-50 chance if you pull the Fable that you get a Shiana, at least in the first edition. So 2 people walked away with mega hits in that box, which is one of the reasons I like his stuff, because he's very upfront about this stuff. Like, a lot of people would be like, oh, I pulled the Fable, I'm going to keep the other boxes because I know Shiana's in there that's worth 2K, 50-50 chance. He's not like that. He's like, I pulled 2 boxes. He offered the next 2 boxes within the next like 6 hours. He had it up and running, and I got a chance at it. I didn't get it. I was sad about that, but no big deal. You know, you play your odds and see what you get. And I still made some money on it, so I don't really care. Like, it was still a good set of cards for me. And I don't have that much first in Crew, so I'm happy to get any more of those. Hence why I might pick up a box and crack it for fun. Monarch First Edition is stabilizing down at 150. So if you don't have Monarch, or you're not in a situation where you've collected Monarch and you're relatively new to the game, I know a lot of people bought it in the beginning and feel bad because prices have dropped, but if you're relatively new to the game, this is kind of the time to pick up that Monarch first, because it's real low. 150 is a nice price for that, and who knows, you get a case or whatever, you might pull a Fable or whatever. Nice Easter egg. You might pull a Fable, you might pull something nice, but if you're trying to collect and hold on to things, this is a decent bottom, I think, for Monarch First. It may go a little lower, but I honestly doubt that it will go too much lower. Toa first edition is at 89, so this is really low because I think Unlimited is selling at 70 or yeah, I think it's like 70, 75. So to be at 89 for first is like, wow, super, super low. I know a lot of people have got it. I know the supply of both Monarch and Toa is expected to be higher. I don't think it's high enough to support these prices. Now, this is totally based on rumor mill and guesstimation and stuff like that. But I just don't think it's high enough to support a huge price decrease that we're seeing in these two sets. So take advantage of it while you can if you're into it. I personally am. I'm good on Toa. I have multiple cases of first. Monarch, I have one case of first that I'm holding on to in some loose boxes, and then Crew, I have 2 cases of first, so I don't really need more. I might get a couple loose boxes just to crack for fun, leave the cases on the shelf for the collectors later. And then Arcane, I have some, but not a whole lot. So anyways, still looking for that WTR. That's my white whale there. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, just one other topic as we wrap this up, because we're almost done with this box. One, I'm doing these a little bit quicker because I think it's suitable to do them at a faster pace now that I've gotten most of these collections. The new set I'll probably take my time with because I like to look at each card and show you guys each card, but with stuff that's been around for a while, it doesn't need to happen. But one thing I wanted to chat about very briefly, we talked about some speculation on the story that came out and PvE. Louis posted a video from Kitchen Table TCG. Shout out to them, they're great content. Apparently a Facebook group translated the writing that's in the picture in the story. Check out Fab TCG articles for it, but it's a story, and we went over it last time, and it seems to indicate a PvE scenario because there's partying up, right? All the elemental heroes are getting into a group together and then going on an adventure. First starting at Everfest, and it starts in a tavern, very classic D&D trope, which I love. This Facebook group that he then made a post on or a video on, they translated it, and it's basically talking about Ophidia, the feeder of Findel or something of Findel. It's a little garbled apparently. It feels like some sort of god or demon or big boss type thing, which then feeds into this whole concept of PvE, because what do? You fight big bosses, right? I hope that's what it is. I think that's really cool, and it's kind of exciting, and just is another little tidbit tying to that. So again, if you see those PvE cards, snatch them up, because I imagine they will be in high demand. I grabbed a few recently. I also grabbed my wizard boots, and got my carrion husk finally, but got a handful of those coal foils that I've been wanting for. But got a couple of these PvE cards picked up and stored, because I do think we'll see a pop in some of these prices in the coming days. But yeah, that's about it. Check out Louis' video and Chris Sires. They both have really good content, and of course Fluke. If you don't know Fluke, I've talked about him in the past, but he's got great stuff too. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. Let me clean this up and get the prices. All right, we're back. Here we go. So obviously the bracers are on the side, but Blood Rush Bellows is $625. Snatch and Rainbow Foil $160. Route, which I don't have many of those, $119. I got an E-Strike here, which is nice, $51. Glint of the Quicksilver is $240. Snapdragon Scalers and Rainbow Foils $327. Crazy Brew is nice right now, about $798. Sigil of Soulless Rainbow Foil $412. And Reckless Swing $192, and of course the Brave Forge Bracers are $72.98, give or take. The whole box $152, fantastic value. The entire case ended up at $326, so just over what I ended up paying for it. So it was a win overall, but I got 2 legendaries, which I find awesome. So if you like the content, hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you next time, and have a happy new year, and thank you again for watching the content. We really do appreciate it. So have a good one.